Hey everyone, this is Richie from Joe and Richie, and today I'm going to be reviewing the long-awaited Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 9, Honor, or what I would like to call Carl's long goodbye-bye? Long goodbye for Carl? Bye-bye, Carl! It's been a good ride, Carl, but today is the last day. You're gonna be on television. No, that's rude. No, the kid's got a good future. He's got a future, I think. No. Yeah, he's got it. Unfortunately, Joe cannot be with us today because Joe is digging ditches. You know, before getting into it, I just want to summarize the episode. And we all know this was coming. Spoilers obviously ahead, but this is the episode where Carl kicks a bucket. So a lot of the attention is going to be put towards Carl. So I'm going to be talking about a few things that happened in the episode and, the high points and the low points. Pretty much, we start off with another shot, a close-up of Rick. Rick is crying. Rick is just really upset. We've seen this a few times before, and then we cut to another shot of future Rick. The future Rick where he has a big old beard and he's walking around Alexandria with a cane and everyone is so happy. It's such a good future, and we all think it is, this is what's gonna be, because, Walking Dead's done this before where they've done like flash forwards and flashbacks, but we're gonna get more into that later. Cut to a shot of Rick and Michonne digging a grave, or digging a ditch. Not like a ditch that Joe would dig, because no one digs ditches like Joe digs ditches. It's not. Then we're cut to a shot of Carl. So this is gonna be a flashback. We're cutting back to Carl where he was with Sadiq fighting off the zombies, where he was on the tree, and this is the part where we see he gets bit. For all the rumors or like theories out there that Carl's not gonna die, it was a whisperer. Those pearly whites on that zombie, no way, that wasn't a zombie, that was a whisperer. That was a creepy old man in a zombie suit. No, it was actually a zombie. He was bit. We get a close-up of Carl, and pretty much his face just read anger, fusion, and then acceptance. Because, well, living in a zombie apocalypse sucks. And sooner or later, you're gonna get bit. From there, we go for like a happy-go-lucky montage of Carl just pretty much spending a lot of time with Judith. He's not gonna be seeing her again because, he's obviously gonna die. So it's a lot of like brother and sister time together. And then Carl gets the idea to write a bunch of letters to everyone he's probably not gonna say goodbye to, which is a bit sad. We're probably gonna cut to that in the future episode where they're gonna read what Carl had to say. From there, we're cutting to a scene of Morgan where he's pretty much being American Sniper on the Savior compound, and we find out how the Saviors get out. Now this is kind of a bummer because I thought they're gonna get out in a more ingenious way where maybe Eugene will cook up some other plan where he'll put like a speaker on an airplane, a little paper airplane, and fly it out and drag the zombies away. No. It's just way more simple than that. It is so simple. You know what they do? They have a bunch of shooters from the second story window. They're gonna shoot a bunch of zombies by the double doors that are leading into the Savior's compound. So they pretty much shoot down a bunch of zombies. They form a pile of zombies on each side, creating like a makeshift barrier. And then the Saviors kick open the double doors and start shooting everywhere. And that's how they got out. That is how they got out. No decoys, nothing of that sort. They just shot their way out. Okay. So blammo, here we are. We're at the kingdom, and then the Saviors are just pretty much surrounding Ezekiel, and Gavin is having a talk with Ezekiel saying, I won, you lost. And Ezekiel's like, nah, you're the author of your future. You can rewrite this. You can change your course now. And Gavin's just like, why would I? Why would I do that? I'm on the winning side, which is very interesting to bring up considering that like everything's about choices. Everything you make leads to whatever consequence later on, and Gavin had the opportunity to change his mind, but we'll cut back to that a little bit later. We also see in the kingdom Carol leading all the remaining kingdomers, fellows of the kingdom, the people of the kingdom, whatever. She's leading them all away, and then she's dealing with Henry, who, his brother got killed by a Savior. Henry's like, I got this poking stick and I gotta poke someone. If I don't poke someone, I'm gonna be so upset. And Carol's like, listen, you little boy, you best get out of here. You best go with the other people because it's safe and I'm gonna do dangerous things. So then we see Carol like running into further into the kingdom, and then we cut to Morgan, who's being Solid Snake or maybe Splinter Cell. I don't know. He's hiding in the shadows, and he's like, no one's gonna see where I am. And boom, Carol's like, oh hey Morgan, and Morgan's like, oh hey Carol, finish this, Carol. You want to take care of this? Yeah, they both agree that we're gonna take down some Saviors, and they pretty much agreed that they have the taste of blood and they want their revenge, and they're gonna kill every Savior that's there and save Ezekiel. So we're at the part of the episode where a lot of back and forth is going to start happening now. We're going to be cutting from Carl laying on a dirty cot in the sewer with Rick and Michonne over him to the kingdom where pretty much Carol and Morgan are just like gonna be taking down a bunch of saviors. But we're getting a little bit more history on Siddiq, who he is. I thought it was, oh man, I thought Rick was just gonna like strangle him, because the only reason that Carl is bit is because, well, he was helping Siddiq to bring him back to Alexandria. Well, we find out that other than Carl being a good guy Carl, trying to like save whoever he can, Siddiq is actually a resident. He hasn't become a doctor yet, but pretty much he's a doctor in the post-apocalyptic times. Or apocalyptic, not post. So we're at the sewer. Carl's looking sickly, getting more sick, which is kind of interesting because like he was just bit in the stomach, but it hasn't been 10 hours, maybe 10 hours, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. But I don't know. It feels like this progression of dying from the infection and turning into zombies has been speeding up a lot in the past few seasons. I don't know. Yeah, and then pretty much in that scene, everyone's saying their goodbyes. Carl says his goodbyes to Judith, which was actually very sad and very touching, and he hands his hat off to her. Rick gave the hat to him, and now he's passing it on to Judith to live on with the hat and carry on the spirit of Carl. Everyone's saying their goodbyes. Daryl's saying their goodbye, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So all the Alexandrians left to go to the hilltop is just Michonne and Rick. And then we cut to Carol and Morgan, and they're just taking down a bunch of saviors, and then Gavin is having more of a pep talk with, I wouldn't want to call it a pep talk, but pretty much having is like, ha ha ha, you made your choice. Ezekiel saying, no, you still have a chance to change. And then Gavin finds out that a bunch of people in his team are dead because they're just not answering their walkie-talkie. So if you don't answer your walkie-talkie, that's pretty much as you're dead. So they have Gavin and the Saviors just pretty much like barricading themselves within the auditorium, and then Morgan and Carol just like busting right in there, and they just start shooting everybody up. And there's this one really awesome scene, this one such goodness. I'm so happy they included this. There's a scene of a savior that was shot in the stomach. That savior just got up and like tackles Morgan down. He's gonna try to strangle Morgan. He's gonna try to strangle the life out of him. And then Morgan sees this wound in the stomach and then takes his right hand and shoves it right up in there, right up in the wound. And then you see that hand just continue to go within the stomach, and then he just starts grabbing hold of something and pulls it out. And he just pulls out intestines. Oh my God, that was awesome. Bravo. I think that was Greg Nicotero's idea. Maybe not the writer. It's Greg Nicotero. I'm pretty sure that was you. So from there, all the saviors are pretty much dead except for Gavin. Morgan shoots Gavin, and then Gavin runs away. Morgan says, I gotta finish this, and chases after him. And then you see, out of like a horror movie, Gavin running away, looking behind him, and then hides in like a corner of a room. And then Morgan's carrying his stick, and you just see the stick dragging a line in the sand. It's something out of like a Friday the 13th, where you have Jason like dragging the giant machete, dragging it through the ground, and then you see like a Morgan's shadow over Gavin, and then the shadow goes away and Morgan thinks he's safe, and then BAM! Morgan just comes right through the wall and grabs Gavin and just pulls him right out into the ground. And now we're pretty much cutting back and forth from there to Burn Down Church in Alexandria. Carl's laying down there, and Rick and Michonne are over him, and then it's kind of a confession type of scene. Carl speaks about how, I still remember about the boy I shot. It was a little bit older than me, and during the prison attack, all the way back in like season 3. He's still thinking over about it, and he says how much that changed him, and how so easy it is to kill. It's so easy to kill, and what's hard is not to kill. And now we're coming back to Morgan, where he's like, I'm gonna kill this guy. I'm gonna kill all the saviors. And Carol is just all like, hey, don't do that. You're better than that. You know you're better than that. You told me to be better than that. And then it looks like Morgan is about to stab Gavin, and then we have a headshot of, it's a medium shot of Gavin, and then a pointy stick just comes right from the back of Gavin's neck through his throat, and then retracts, and then you see Gavin fall. And who could it be? Well, it's Henry with his little pointing stick, finally poking at somebody with his poker stick. It was great. That was a great twist. Bravo to that. The intestines pulling and the surprise with Henry. That was fantastic. We see Morgan obviously saying, he trained this kid how to use the poking stick, and the kid obviously poked, so good for the kid. So we cut back to Carl. Carl saying how much he loves Michonne, how much he loves Rick, and then we also find out at that point that all the visions of the future, bearded Rick, it wasn't like what could have been or what it is. It's not what could have been through Rick's eyes, it's what could have been through Carl's eyes, which this is really a nice twist. I really like that. That was was a lot of fun, and I'm sure a lot of other fans out there enjoyed that it wasn't coming from Rick, it was coming from Carl himself, who wants like a better future for everybody. Carl, being the man that he is now, decides to shoot himself because, you know, it's too much for Michonne to bear, or even his father to bear. So we cut outside of the burned down church, and we hear a gunshot. We know that Carl offed himself, unfortunately, and we get the rest of Carl's vision, and what we have there is Judith walking to a man who's tending to crops, and Judith says hello, and the man gets up, and it's Negan. So this is really interesting. Oh, and Negan didn't do a Negan lean, as you know he usually does. So this is very interesting that they decide to kill Carl, which is not like what it is in the comics, but they decide to keep Negan alive, like what they've done in the comics. So I guess we'll see how this goes. And then we pretty much cut after that to Rick with like blood on his right wrist, slumped over a tree. So whatever that could lead to, I'm pretty sure we'll find out in like 3 episodes from now, because I figured maybe they'll do a lot of flash forwards again. I guess we'll see. So overall, the episode, I think it was good. We all knew this was coming. We all knew that Carl was gonna bite the bullet. And you know what? Chandler Riggs did a great job. I didn't really like him so much in the beginning of the series when it started. I don't know, he just seemed a little stunted. His acting was a little robotic, a little forced, but he grew into his own, and I guess something about the death scenes worked out very well. A lot of crying. I kind of wonder if they put drops in their eyes, or it was actually real emotions that were coming out. I'm pretty sure it was real emotions. They've been working with the kid for like 8 years, so that's a very long time to build a relationship with your fellow co-workers. So I'm sure they're genuine tears, and he's done a good job. I'm sure he's gonna find a work after this, go to college, whatever the case is. I mean, the rumors were about a house where Walking Dead was filming, so he could, you know, still be on the show for like another season or what have you before going to school or working with school. I don't know. Overall, it was a good episode. We knew what was coming, we got what we wanted, and it was very sad, and it's gonna be interesting to see how this shapes Rick in the future. Whether he'll be more forgiving to Negan, which pretty much, if they're gonna follow that with the comics, Negan will still be alive, and that's what the case will be. Despite what all the previews show for the next few episodes, where he's like, I'm gonna kill you, I'm coming next. Carl, guy, you're gonna get it. Something of that sort. So, that's my review for Walking Dead. If you enjoyed this review, please like the video below. Do please subscribe. We're gonna be coming up with way more videos in the future. And yeah, thanks again for watching. This is Richie. Till next time.